And I concluded that night, at that moment, that I didn't know shit, that I was just talking. So I got up, man, and I called next door. I said, Johnny Pope, Johnny Pope. He said, yeah, what's up, what's up? Now, mind you, I don't know how the hell Mr. Pope got into my cell next door. The guy I used to buy the bugler for, picking up cigarette butts. Everybody thought that he was crazy. How he ended up next to me, I don't know. But it changed my life forever. He said, yeah, what's up, what up? I said, you know what, Mr. Pope? I said, you right. I don't know shit. And from this day forward, I vow not to speak on shit that I don't know about. And I meant that. Thus began a lifelong journey in the pursuit of education. I ended up getting transferred. But I just want to say, we never know where your blessings are going to come from in life. That's why you try to treat everybody, right. Who would have known that someone that the whole community thought was crazy would be the one who stood up to me? Because no one else would dare say that to me at that particular time. But Johnny Pope knew I had an affinity for him. He knew I cared about him. And to me, that was his way of waking me up and showing me that he cared about me. But that was the only way he could do it. And it changed my life forever. And I thank you, Mr. Pope, from the bottom of my heart, for being brave enough to step to me like that in my darkest hours and brought some light into my life. So shortly thereafter, I get transferred to Huron Valley, another maximum security joint at the time for me. And so I wrote the warden a letter. I said, listen, I know I got a bad reputation following me from Jackson. You see, but I'm at your facility now. I have no intentions on, being a bad guy or, an assaultive guy toward your staff. Just looking for a chance, a second chance. He wrote me back. He said, you know what? I believe in second chances. Because I had told him I was studying for my GED and all that. He said, well, I believe in second chances. He said, you get your GED and you write me back and I consider letting you out. And I got my GED. But while I was there in Huron Valley, there was another guy named Richard Goodard. He had been in that cell for like 14 years already for assaulting the deputy warden as he was trying to kill him. They had a lock on his door big as my head. And I was in a similar type cell, and I was thinking to myself, I ain't trying to go down that path, man. Yeah, I ain't trying to be locked up for no 14, no decades and shit. One cell, man. That's too tight. That's too tight, man. So that was a little motivation for me, you know, turn my stuff around, for real. So, but I met a guy, my neighbor was in between Richard Goodard and I. Richard Goodard was a good guy. He had been conforming, he had turned his life over, man. He was a real nice dude, man. They just didn't trust him. But it was sad. It was sad, I hope the court probably forced him to let him out, because he was a good dude, man. You see, he was powerful, stronger than a bull. If he wanted to, now he could. But it's a choice a man has to make. You can or you can't. You can choose to be bad, you can choose to be good. It's a choice, like everything else in life. And I chose to turn my life around, so. But this guy in between us, James Stroman, and I knew his father inside the wall in 4 block. Mr. Stroman, he had life bit. And that was his little son, man, This guy, when I tell you this, had superhuman strength. Literally, this brother had superhuman strength. I don't know how he did it. But some kind of way, he chiseled the whole window out of the cell and threw it out on the backyard. I don't know how he did it. He just snatched this motherfucking window out and threw it in the backyard, man. They had to stand outside his window every night with a gun and tell him, you come out this motherfucker, you dead. Now, mind you, they already had him a tow truck chains around him with a lock that was half as big as my head while he was in the cell. You know what I'm saying? This brother, I had never seen nothing like it in my life. But me and Stroman got cool, man, And one day, because I was smoking then. One day he like, hey, Clee. Yeah, what's up, Stro? What's up, Jane? He said, you got a light over there, man? Yeah, I got a light. How the hell you gonna get the damn light, man? Yeah, I got a light. I heard some bam! Bam! This motherfucker took this lock, this big ass lock, because now they got the window out of his cell. The man standing guard out there with the gun, shotgun. He in the damn cell with a tow truck chain and a big ass humongous lock. He beating the wall with the lock. He knocked a hole through the motherfucking wall to get a light. In solitary confinement. I gave him a light. Hell, he even let me talk to one of his girlfriends or some cousin or some of them, because they wouldn't let him out the cell. They'd bring a little cell phone to him. One of them big block cell phones back in the day. He bring a cell phone, he let me talk sometime, And excuse me. And so I found him amazing, man. He was amazing. So my GED teacher was Mr. Blizzard. Mr. Blizzard was an exchange teacher from Australia. And every day he came to my cell, I said, what's up, Mr. Blizzard? He said, what's going on, Mr. Bafford? That was our little exchange thing, between us, And eventually got my GED, man. He was real happy, so was I. Because that was a chance to write that award and let him know, hey, I did what you said. I stayed focused, But before I get to that. I, uh, one day, because when they feed us, they let the little door thing down and slide the trays in. And sometimes they'll let it down, let us talk to each other and stuff like that, have a little communication. And this one time, the officer came back to get, a little young officer came back to get the phone from Mr. Strowman. And when he reached in to get the phone, Strowman grabbed his arm. And the guy almost messed on himself. Because everybody knew how powerful Strowman was. They know this Strowman. He knew Strowman could rip his whole arm off. But I knew Strowman was playing. I said, hey, Strowman, get a man his arm back, man. I was telling the officer, you know he can take your whole arm off your body. You know that, don't you? You know he that motherfucker strong, don't you? But he just playing with you. You ain't got to panic and none of that. They Strowman let him go, man. Get a man his arm back. So he let him go, I said, I just let you know, man, he just playing with you now. He wasn't for real, nigga, because if he was for real, you wouldn't even have an arm on your body. Believe that, homeboy. Believe that. You just playing. And they let it go. They said, okay. When they got the phone, wasn't no big deal. He was thankful he had his motherfucking arm. And rightfully so, he should be thankful. So I ended up writing the warden a letter and letting them know I got my GED. I'm ready for general population, ready to turn my life around. And true to his word, he let me out, man. And true to my word, I went to school, I started typing classes first. Took a typing class, a business module typing class, simulation class, And then after that, I started college, community college. I'm glad I took typing first because I could type my papers and make them look professional, So that kind of fitted. I didn't know I was doing it, but it just fitted. It was the right progression for me. So I'm taking these classes. So my typing instructor, Miss Marceau, Nanette Marceau, she was a mother of three, going back to school for an MBA, and working a prison teaching job full time. So I'm like, man, that's a big responsibility. She got to go. She's doing a whole heap all by herself with no man. Like, damn. So I took 5 classes my first semester. And I told her, I said, if you can raise 3 kids, go back to school for an MBA and work a full-time job, surely I can do 5 classes. And sure enough, there was an old dude in the principal's office. He was a principal clerk, old inmate. Forgot his name, and his name slips my memory right now. He told me one thing, and I always held true to what he said. All he told me was, stay close to your books. That was it. And that was some of the wisest advice I ever got. Other than Cecil, my shoe repair instructor, Miss Cecil Cantrell, telling me, Cleveland, the key to learning is remembrance. So I knew I had that. I want to learn, I got to remember. So that helped me in staying close to my books. As soon as I got out of class, I came right to my cell and did start doing my homework for the next class. Everyday routine, clockwork, regimen. I never broke it till the day I left prison. After that first semester, I averaged a 4.0. I was like, man, I never knew I was smart. I averaged C's and D's in school. Barely passed the GED the first time. The second time I did pretty good. I got a 50-something on it. But I discovered I was smart. I was intelligent. That's when the light